Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ray, if you guys are new, and today I'm going to share with you a little bit of a different location. So today we're coming from sunny Florida. My family and I took a couple days to go to the beach, and so while the boys are out fishing, I thought I would come on here and film a little video for you guys. So let's see if you can see what I can see. Yeah, nice. All right, so yeah, we're gonna spend a little time together reviewing some pet food. So I was walking down the beach, consumed in my own mind, and as I was walking, I happened upon a little fish that had washed up on shore. And so I started thinking to myself about cat food, naturally. And so why is it that we see a lot of cat food that is fish flavored? Because cats don't really like the water, and it seems a little odd to me that we would assume that cats like fish, because in wild, I think it would be very odd for a cat to go fishing. And so, yeah, so I started thinking about that, and I don't know the answer to that, but it led me to start thinking about cat food, and it led me to start thinking about Orijen, because you guys have asked me about Orijen a couple times. And so I went ahead and pulled up Orijen's website. And so today we're going to talk about Orijen cat food, and I went ahead and decided to look into the 6 fish cat food. And so Orijen is a company that is owned by Champion. They own a couple other brands as well. And Champion is based out of Canada, I believe. They also have what they call kitchens in the United States as well. And so that's where Orijen is made. It says that it is made with fresh, whole, wild, and sustainably caught fish. And they're going to have mackerel, herring, flounder, redfish. Let's see, what else does that say? Monkfish and silver. I don't know what that says. Silver hake. I'm not familiar with what those fish are, but those are the 6 fish that are going to be in this diet. And so we're going to go ahead and review that. It says here that it's grain-free with 90% rich animal protein sources, 10% fruits, vegetables, and nutrients, and there's no added soy, corn, wheat, or tapioca. And so I know in dogs we talked about how grain-free is a little bit of a controversy right now. It's causing some heart disease in dogs, or at least that's what the literature is suggesting. I'm not aware of that happening in cats, so for right now I'm not going to hold it against them that this particular diet is grain-free for cats. So that's what you've got as far as the label claims. Let's look into the guaranteed analysis. And so here we've got the ingredients listed, and it lists all those fish that we were talking about. Some of these fish are present in meal, and we talked about meals, and that's basically just a way for the companies to render down the fish such that it is a little bit more concentrated. They've removed a lot of the things that are not edible, and they've mealed the meat down. That way it's easy to measure. So there's nothing, in my opinion, wrong with a meal. And so you can see here that they've included some meals in this diet. So we've got the AFCO statement here as well. So Orijen 6 fish cat recipe. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say that 6 times, 3 times fast, 5 times fast. How do you say that? 6 fish cat, 6 fish cat. Is formulated to meet the nutritional level established by AFCO cat food nutrient profiles for all life stages. So this is an all life stage. Ideally, we want to see an adult food that is specific for adult life stages, because we want something specific for our pet's actual place in life. And so they've made this all life stages, which means you can feed it to kittens, you can feed it to adults, but for adult cats, which in general our normal house cats are going to be prone to obesity, that makes me a little bit concerned, because I don't necessarily want to be feeding my cat that's largely sedentary the nutritional levels required by a kitten that's growing very quickly. And so you know that a kitten grows from basically just a few ounces to 8 pounds in less than a year. And so we don't want to continue that escalated nutritional level to have that accelerated growth rate in our adult cats that don't need it. So I like to see a stage for my cat's specific life place, and so that's going to be adult or senior or something like that. But a lot of the foods we see are like this, and you know, it is what it is. It's also formulated. They didn't do feeding trials. And so, you know, I think for a brand that really is supposed to be high end, is really supposed to be in tune with nutrients, I would have liked to have seen them actually do some feeding trials on their food and actually make foods that are specific to pets' lifestyle. So take that for what it is. Over here we've got the guaranteed analysis, and so let's pull up our little comparison chart. This chart comes from, we know, Small Animal Clinical Nutrition, and I'll link that down below and show a picture if you guys want to go in and read that book and pull some of these values for yourself. Feel free to do that. If not, and you want to hang out at the beach with us today and be lazy, you can just check out this little chart I already compiled. So for cats, and this is the adult cat, ideally we want protein to be between 30 and 45, and we do have protein at 40%, which is nice. You do not want excessive protein in cats, and this is the reason why. When you provide excessive protein, the kidneys have to remove that from the body. It's not stored. And so in cats, we all know, and I'm sure if you're a cat person, you have friends that have cats, or you personally had a cat that has had some sort of urinary tract infection, kidney disease or something of that nature. Cats are very prone. And so I really don't think there's any reason medically to provide excessive proteins, and in fact, it may be a little deleterious. So I like the fact that Orijen, even though they say they are, or the reputation is that they're big on protein, they've actually included a appropriate amount of protein in this food. All right, fat. They have a 20% minimum, and so that's right in the middle, so that's nice to see. DHA and EPA, those are also going to be essential nutrients. I did not include those on the chart. It's nice that they listed them here. You can check out our other videos on how to calculate whether or not that is an appropriate amount, but we're going to skip that for today. Calcium at 1.5% is a bit in excess. It's quite a bit in excess, and that is a little bit worrisome as well, because minerals such as calcium and phosphorus can also cause some issues with kidneys. So let's jump down to phosphorus, because these two usually go together, and the phosphorus is also out of range. And so when you have excessive amounts of calcium and phosphorus, that can also cause issues in cats with renal disease, renal processing, and things like that. It's going to be particularly harder on cats that already have established disease. It's going to be particularly harder on senior cats. And so I'm wondering if these two things are elevated because this is an all life stage and is more geared towards kitten and lactating. And so we'll pull up the kitten requirements and see if that's the case. And maybe that's why that's in excess, but I'm not a fan of that. If we move down the list, we're going to have taurine here, and we haven't talked a lot about taurine on this channel. Taurine is essential in cats. It's the reason why it's really important to feed our cats actually manufactured cat food, in my opinion, because taurine is necessary. And many, many years ago, they found that cats that were fed maybe exclusively fish diets, I think it started out with maybe zoo animals or large cats like that, when they fed exclusive diets that did not have taurine in them, these cats actually developed retinopathies. And so that has to do with the eyes and their ability to see. And so commercial cat foods are required to add appropriate amounts of taurine to the diet in order to prevent that. And so if you have a cat where, let's say, you're just feeding, a can of tuna fish, because, canned tuna fish looks a lot like canned cat food. It's not. The canned cat food has the taurine added into it, and that's actually extremely important for, like I said, retinal health. And so this particular diet contains 3% taurine, and we'll have to do a calculation to make sure that 3%, or excuse me, 0.3% is appropriate, because we need about 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of taurine in the diet according to our numbers. And actually, I might be able to go over really quick to the Merck veterinary manual and see, and this is a good resource for all you guys out there to peruse, and they've got really nice charts on here, so you can just Google Merck veterinary manual and scroll down to the nutrient requirements for cats, and let's see if it's got the taurine. Yeah, and a little bit easier way for us to understand. And so we need 0.1 extruded or a 0.2 in the canned version. So extruded is another way of saying kibble. And so you want at least 0.1 minimum in the kibble for adult and 0.1 also for growth and reproduction. And so we're at 0.3, so there you go. Very, very good. All right, so that looks pretty good outside of the calcium and the phosphorus. And I want to go ahead and pull up the kitten. Should I put up the kitten or should I just use the Merck manual? We've got the Merck manual here, so let's just use this today. It's breath of each, and we're being lazy. All right, so calcium for growth and reproduction is 1, and phosphorus is 0.8, according to the Merck manual. So, yeah, still in excess even for a kitten. So I'm not sure the reasoning behind adding excessive amounts of calcium and phosphorus, and these are minimums, and so they could even be more than that. So I'm not too sure why they're doing that. So that's not my favorite either. Let's see price. So where to buy? Oh, all right. So a bit pricey, a little bit more pricey food. Let's see what the kibble looks like. And then we'll get into the price per pound. So nothing special there, and actually nothing special is something special because we talked before, we don't want all these weird dyes and things like that. I mean, it's just a plain kibble, and there's nothing wrong with that. Price-wise, so what are we talking price? So $68.99 is what it typically is. It comes in a 4 12-pound bag. So calculator please. $68.99 for a 12-pound bag. All right, so $5.75 a pound. Now, in cats, obviously poundage goes a lot farther, and so, in a dog, larger dog, price per pound, the pound doesn't go as far. In a cat, the pound goes quite a bit farther, since normal cats are probably going to get about a quarter cup or so a day, depending on the calorie allotment. So it is a little bit more expensive. It's a lot bit more expensive, honestly, than a lot of the foods we've reviewed, but it will go a little bit, longer. And so $5.75, you can obviously pick that up at Chewy. I'm sure there are other places you can. So it looks like Amazon, you can get it. All these places here, Petco, Petflow, Pet Supplies Plus. So these places I've not heard of, but you can get it in quite a few places. I'm not sure if you can just pick it up in the store. So you guys will have to let me know, if you've seen this before out in the field. 4.7 out of 5 stars, but there's only 25 reviews there. So, okay, so there you have it. That is Orijen cat food in a nutshell. Couple things to recap. It is a formulated food, and it is a grain-free food, although we're not too worried about that. I don't believe in cats. It also is all life stages, and so it's not going to be tailored to either an adult or a senior. It's going to be suitable for kittens, pregnant, and lactating. The calcium and phosphorus was excess, both on the parameters based on the Merck veterinary manual, as well as small animal clinical nutrition. And so if you have a cat that is a senior or has underlying kidney disease, or you just want to avoid anything that may potentially cause urinary issues in a pet, specifically kidney issues, maybe not the best choice for that. Price-wise, it ended up being about $5.75 a pound, so not the cheapest. I'm sure there are more expensive versions as well. And so for me, I mean, if you really like this food, and I know a lot of people really love it, it's probably okay. I would be a little cautious personally about foods that are in excess of those minerals because of the implications they may have in kidney disease. And there's no cure for kidney disease. So, that's my take on it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with me at the beach. And if you would so like to see more videos, please subscribe, ring the bell, hang out with us again in the future. And I'm going to hit the beach. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.